Yes, it's that time again. Instead of waiting till the end of this episode, it's always 8:20. So yes, time for your next installment of 8:20, your 500 seconds about and on resilience. A journey that I am on, and thank you for joining me on my journey today. And hopefully your journey as well aligns with where we're going together today. Before I get started on today's episode, I'm asking you to jump over to the website when you get a chance after this episode to 820podcast.com. I'm running a promotion. So once you get on there, leave me a comment with your email address, obviously, and your physical address. The first 10, I will send out a signed, autographed copy of the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence. Hopefully, it will start us and encourage us, if not with me, to share these messages in audio-wise, but now you have the physical copy of kind of like the repository or where these statements about resilience are coming from in the 820 enterprise. Without further ado, today's topic is entitled R.I.P. Yes, in capitals. And again, I hope that you were interested, wondering about R.I.P. My goodness, that sounds terrible. I know typically we see that statement in either an email we got from a colleague or a coworker or high school or a college classmate, and it says R.I.P., we know it could not be good. However, in true form and in connection with the overarching concept, context, and content of the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence, but also for every 820 episode, that R.I.P. means something different. It means resilience, insist, and persist. R.I.P. now in the 820 world means resilience, insist, persist. I know you probably expected a funeral announcement about yours truly today. Sorry to disappoint. I wanted you to take that interest in those three letters for this episode, of course, to download it and hear what I'm going to say, but also that R.I.P., resilience, insist, and persist, is also meant to remind you of another episode or several that reference the memento mori, that stoic statement about remember to die, and also the 6 Tamba words that I've referenced before from my African elder about, I asked him a question one day about, what's my purpose, sir? It was one of those down days that I was feeling almost like quasi-depressed about my lot in life and where I was going, where we were going as a whole human being system. He said that to me, go, ask no question, and die. And that was maybe 3-4 years ago when I first heard that from him. Again, that was way after the book was published, but way before the 820 enterprise took off. But those statements about memento mori and the 6 Tamba words really serves as the foundation, the impetus for these episodes. To R.I.P., to rest in progress, is another way to say that. I said before, at the top level on this episode today, resilience, insist, persist, but those are 3 words that we can tease out and give you further clarity on those. But maybe R.I.P., instead of rest in peace, could say or mean rest in progress. Just think about that. Typically, you see those 3 letters, R.I.P., meaning it's a finality. it's an ending. It's done. He's in the ground getting cold. But in this case, I wouldn't be presenting to you an idea or an observation that was meant to take you down into, the lowest levels of existence and not feeling good or feeling your best today. I do want to hopefully give you words of encouragement from my experiences that you shouldn't do, particularly my failures or shortcomings, but maybe those things that have proved out as beneficial to me. It may not make sense to you, but at least I'm opening up that kimono to you to say, okay, kind of similar to that guy, or I can respect that perspective. But in this case, I'm offering you another way to look at those letters, even if it did mean someone you lost, that you want them to rest in peace. But maybe even today, this moment in time, us together on these 500 seconds, maybe a better way to look at those letters as resting in progress. Meaning, yes, we're all alive, still here today, and sharing these words, this energy, these observations. But resting doesn't mean let's just, fall out, pass out, and regardless of what happens next. There is no next. This is now. So even resting in progress, it still means there's work and reason to do something. So even though if you can consider exchanging that rest in peace to resilience, insist and persist, and or rest in progress, meaning you have things to do. You have a purpose to produce. You have a voice to voice. You have a message to share. If it's just me talking to myself and to my creator, or me, in this case, to you today. The importance to me is to rest well before you get back or get forward onto the work again that's before you. That is how I take it. Again, I thank you for looking into downloading this episode with those 3 letters up there. And I know you probably didn't expect to say, hey, the guy's gone. Unfortunately, or fortunately, not true. Because we're here together and sharing what I am considering as our common journey towards self-discovery on how we lead, how we observe, how we communicate, what we can do. We can do separately and somewhat even connectedly, if that's a word, connectedly across the world. I thank you for considering this, but remember, rest when you can and rest well, and then get on to the work in front of you again. Thank you once again. This is Ming signing off with It's 8:20. Do you know where your heart is?